Americans of Reddit, what is the worst big city in the USA and why? Every big city has parts within them that are the worst. So any answer could be correct. Crime isn't as high as some people say, although there have been signs of it rising in some places. I'd say that you'd be fine in the right part of any city. Therese reasons to have pride in every place in the United States regardless of their downsides because of all the history and people that live there, except Phoenix, which shouldn't exist because it is a monument to man's arrogance. East St. Louis, stopped once for gas. Didn't think I was going to make it back on 55. Was both prepared and a bit saddened to see East St. Louis at the top. It really is that bad, and Therese no debating it. What's so bad about it? Crazy amounts of crime, decrepit businesses, broken down neighborhoods, more crackdowns than anything else. It's rare to have a night without sirens and gunshots. Would rather take my chances in most war zones than in East St. Louis and am a native. A neighborhood in Houston where my parents lived really went downhill. When they would go out of town, I would stay at house so it would not be cleaned out. One weekend I hit the floor so many times, when the gunshots were close. I really had no idea I could move that fast. I suddenly was on the floor. Houston's always been a little weird. Yeah, there are bad neighborhoods, but in some areas it's just street by street. You're perfectly safe going down street A or C, but if you go down street B at night, you're going to have a bad time. Scrolled through and did not find my city, win. Edit, for those that asked, it's Chicago. Hey, I never said it's the best, I just did not find it mentioned as the worst. Your city. Shit. Pallet Town. Bakersfield, California. Nothing but meth and strip malls. Some dude from Bakersfield, CA was just arrested for robbing my house. For reference, him in TN, so he has come a long way from home just to be a shithead. This checks out. Meth gives you wings. Jackson, Mississippi. Very high murder rate, low education, failing infrastructure. Edit, yes, I know Jackson isn't a very big city. It just sticks out as being in bad shape. Jackson was eye-opening for me. Where I'm from, being poor means you don't have a car or the latest phone and your apartment has roaches. In Jackson, if you're poor, you don't have shoes or running water. It's like a banana republic that can't grow bananas. Even if you're not poor, you don't have running water in Jackson. How is that even possible in a country like the US? The people running the Department of Human Services and the governor of Mississippi were recently caught embezzling tens of millions of dollars in federal money allocated to supporting needy families. CNN.com. I hesitate to answer this because the worst cities in America aren't big cities. It's medium and small-sized cities that have been hit the hardest by economic changes. Places like Gary, Inn, Pontiac, Me, Bridgeport, CT, and Lowell, Ma. Industrial cities that lost all their jobs and experienced depopulation and rising crime. But I don't know, maybe Hartford. Therese, just nothing there. It's insurance companies and street gangs. That's it. Wow, didn't expect to see Lowell on here. I don't think it's one of the worst, even in Mass. Lowell ain't perfect, but it's got a good-sized university and a thriving arts scene. Lawrence, Fitchburg, Brockton, and Fall River all wish they were Lowell. I think every city has great parts. But emo worst parts of Baltimore is pretty out there. Honestly, I was coming in here ready to defend Baltimore. I'm in DC but spend a lot of time in Baltimore and love it for the most part, but I read a thread in Baltimore a few hours ago about a guy talking about how he got mugged last night, and the top comment was a very casual, "Oh yeah, those guys shot me last week." So while much of Baltimore very working class charming, you've got a good point, the worst parts are pretty damn bad, ha. Just, be careful in West Baltimore, in particular. The rest isn't as bad as people make it out to be, ha. The person who commented that he had been shot by those same guys a couple of weeks ago was me. Aw man, I'm sorry I used you as an example like that, but I was very impressed by your nonchalance at such a serious thing. Hope you're doing alright and recovering quickly. That sounds horrible. Ha ha ha, no worries, it was just fun to see my story pop up in a thread about why Baltimore is a bad place to be. I scrolled through the comments figuring I might see something about it. Honestly, the whole experience was awful, but I'm doing okay at the moment and got super lucky as far as gunshot wounds are concerned. More than one Baltimore-based friend has told me that I've now completed my bingo card for living here. Is the prize for completing it getting the duck out of Baltimore? Oh, so Baltimore is a saw game. Miami. Year-round tropical paradise? Year-round hot garbage. Hot, humid garbage. A crime-ridden, bug-infested, trash-strewn, traffic-choked third-world shithole. The official flower is mildew, the official smell is decomp, the official birds are mosquitoes and palmetto bugs, which is just a cute name for giant cockroaches. Absolutely abysmal education means the native population is as dumb as a box of rocks. Oh, but houses are so cheap. They sure are, when they're poorly built, slum-adjacent and 20 traffic-clogged miles from any decent services or shopping. Just overlook the property taxes, too. Better hope your condo building was properly maintained. Uninsured driver, slip and fall scam central. And go good luck finding anyone who speaks English. What's really hilarious is the handful of companies relocating their citing crime in the cities they're leaving. Had they read the news, they'd know Miami is not Singapore or Geneva. Crypto hub? Yeah, good luck with that. Rising sea level can't come soon enough. I haven't been to every city in the US. But Baltimore could use a little cleaning up since we're on the subject. Oh. Basically, one of the only things I know about Baltimore is that it's the home of Mr. Trash Wheel and family, the pride of the Baltimore Harbor. And I imagined it as a trash-free oasis protected by the Trash Wheel clan. Bummer, I need to get out more. Literally the only thing we hear about Baltimore in the UK is that the accent is weird. Baltimore has at least 3 different accents. My family is from East Baltimore and they don't speak exactly the same as people from West Baltimore, and they don't sound anything like the white people in South Baltimore or the suburbs like Essex Glen Burnie. I'm always disappointed that we can't pinpoint people's childhood area by their accents like the British do. I passed Camden NJ on our way to a concert, and we stopped at a light and a cop drove up and literally told us just run the reds and go, do not stop, and as we turned you would just see groups of PPL on corners waiting for a stopped car. It was wild. Edit, I appreciate all the replies. The horror stories I'm sure are true. The struggle of the people in rough situations in these cities is a huge component also. My husband spent summers there as he has family in the area. He saw it in all its facets, including positive changes. My first experience, and only experience, was driving there to get to a concert with my friend 12 maybe 14 years ago, and it was unexpected even for this NYC native. I live an hour from Philly and had to explain this to my wife several times about Camden. She didn't believe me until I ran a red there in front of a cop and nothing happened. She didn't understand then how dangerous Camden can be. Downtown Camden looks really nice. They've done a lot of work on the infrastructure to try and attract new business, but very few have moved in. You have all these nice streets and sidewalks in the city, but any time of day you can stand on a main road and go 5 minutes without seeing a car or a pedestrian. Outside of the downtown looks almost post-apocalyptic. Bakersfield or Fresno? Pretty sure the devil has part-time vacation homes in both of them. Fresno's unofficial motto being at least we're not Bakersfield. Bakersfield. Imagine how most American movies depict Mexico. That's Bakersfield. Yellow filter and all. Bakersfield don't need a filter. That's just the air as it is actively killing you. In Bakersfield you smoke a cigarette for clean air. Has a filter. Nice try, Russia. I'm kind of shocked at how many people in this thread are firing off cities that they're actively admitting they've never been to. Like, cool, you've heard Detroit sucks, but how the duck do you know if you haven't been there? Also, different people value different things, like NYC is loud, dirty, expensive, and super heterogeneous, but some people love that energy and can't imagine living anywhere else. Other people despise NYC and wouldn't live there even if you paid them to do it. And neither type of person is right or wrong, they just value different things. Anyone saying Chicago has obviously never been to Chicago. Chicago is rated one of the best cities. Everyone gets hung up on the crime, and yes, it is pretty bad crime in certain neighborhoods, but Chicago doesn't even have the highest crime rate in Illinois, let alone the US. It has top-tier public transportation, a beautiful lakefront, diverse and awesome restaurants, and just a lot to do. In my opinion, of the ones I've been to, Miami anywhere outside of the nightlife scene is absolutely dangerous. For example, Wynwood, the art district, is literally in the middle of one of the worst possible neighborhoods. You enter or exit Wynwood from the wrong direction, don't stop and wait at red lights. Edit, I learned the area I'm referring to is called Overtown, just outside of Wynwood. Also, no, I'm not a tourist, I'm a local.